Yeah! Well, it's that time of year again. The ghouls, the ghosts, the goblins, the witches. It's my favorite season by far. The imagination, the inventiveness, the free-spirited F.U. to convention. The outside windy darkness of October, blowing into a void of another realm, just out of reach. But what, you might ask, does any of this have to do with the greatest magician of all time? Well, nothing too much, except when he died.
Harry Houdini, October the 29th, 1914, Blackbridge, New York.
Harry Houdini was actually born Eric Weiss in Budapest to a Hungarian Jewish family. He was one of 7 siblings, and when he was 4, the family immigrated to the U.S., where his father serves as a rabbi in Appleton, Wisconsin. His family fell into dire poverty, and young Eric Weiss had to start working as a child. He made his debut into showmanship as a 9-year-old trapeze artist, but his real passion was for magic. His first big break came at the turn of the century when he met Martin Beck, a renowned theater manager. Beck was impressed by Houdini's work with handcuffs and convinced the young performer to focus more on escape acts. And the rest, as they say, is history. It was around this time that Eric adopted the stage name of Houdini after reading a book on magic written by the legendary French magician Robert Houdin. Today, Houdini's very name is synonymous with supernatural endurance and escape abilities. It's also synonymous with the mysterious occult, magic, and the unexplained. He was a man who laughed in the face of death time and time again. So how is it that he finally did indeed meet his end? The stage was set for his death in, of all places, up here north of the border, in a theater in Montreal. A boxer named Gordon Whitehead questioned Houdini on whether or not it was true that he was incapable of feeling any pain when it came to punches to his torso. He challenged the great magician to endure one of his punches to the chest, and Houdini, cocky as ever, accepted. Houdini had broken his ankle during an onstage mishap, so he was reclining on a couch at the time. He still managed to take 3 of Gordon's punches well enough, but the 4th he blocked and gestured that he had had enough. Some days later, he started complaining about pains in his abdomen, but the great performer still did not go see a doctor till a week later. He had a fever of 102. He could not sleep, and he was in agony. The doctor gave him the bad news that he had an inflamed appendix, and that he needed surgery immediately. But by this time, Houdini was in Detroit, Michigan, scheduled to take the stage, and perhaps it should not be surprising that he chose the show over the surgery. At one point, he collapsed on stage, but was revived and kept on going. That was on October the 24th. He was rushed to hospital soon after, but on Halloween night of 1926, Harry Houdini, the great escape artist, escaped the mortal coils of life. More than 2,000 mourners showed up in New York on the 4th of November to bid farewell to a man who redefined death-defying. Before his death, Houdini made a promise to his wife that if there was any way to escape the bonds of the afterlife, he would do so and try to contact her on the 10th anniversary of his death. Halloween of 1936 came and went, but as far as we know, Beth never heard from her late husband again. In 4 more years, on Halloween of 2026, it's going to be the 100th anniversary of Houdini's death, and who knows what might happen then. Happy Halloween, folks.